Cooler than ever.
Let's talk about Europe a little bit. I went to Europe for about a month this summer, played some shows. Got a few songs out of it, as tends to happen. And this song I'd like to sing to you, I'm kind of proud of. I wrote this song on a bicycle in Amsterdam, which sounds very romantic, but it's the truth. A lot of times musicians will lie to you about when they wrote a song. Songs are like human beings, man. They are conceived and then they are born, separate events. A lot of times the songwriter tells you the conception story because it's a lot more interesting. Not the birth story, Like they'll be like, I was on top of this mountain and clouds opened up, sun shone on my face. I pulled out my little backpacker's mandolin and wrote this little ditty called Mountaintop. Whatever. And you're like, whoa, what an amazing moment. That's probably when it was conceived, but it's just, I'm sure the birth story is not as interesting. It's like, I wrote this on my couch with a bag of Cheetos in the middle of a Sopranos marathon. I was just done with the DVD of season 3, and I had a little time before Netflix came, and I just wrote this little song called Mountaintop. Anyway, so but every now and then the conception and birth happen at the same time. That's what I got out of that. It was in Amsterdam. I had just gone to the Van Gogh Museum, and I was really inspired by that. And this song came out of a conversation I had with one of the curators there. As a kid, I was always really interested in the whole Van Gogh ear thing. I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s. I was a little kid. This guy named Reagan was president. You guys remember that guy? And we didn't have a lot of, ketchup was a vegetable, and our art budget was like $5 for the year. So we had like one art class for the year. And the art teacher was, stressed out. She was trying to fit a lot in. We'd spend half the class just doing that turkey where you draw with your hand, The other half, a little art history. So she had to give us the entire world's art history in 15 minutes, So she'd be like, okay, here's Michelangelo's David. He's not wearing any pants. Here's some melting clocks by Salvador Dali. This is Mona Lisa. She was hot back then. She's not hot now. Her smile's weird. Here's Van Gogh's Starry Night. It's cool, swirly, and he cut off his ear one time and gave it to his girlfriend. Okay, get your hands out and we can start some turkeys. That's how it went. And I was always like, whoa, what's up with that ear, man? So a lot of times when you're a kid, you just hear stuff, you forget all about it. About a year ago, I thought about that ear again, and thanks to the wonders of the internet, I researched Van Gogh's ear, and this is what I found 1 year ago. Story was, first of all, it was not his girlfriend. That's what they made clear to me. It was this prostitute named Rachel. It was his favorite. He was living down in the south of France, hanging with some art friends whenever he could, go down to the brothel, hang out with Rachel, do his thing, and he liked her. So anyway, he was friends with this painter named Gauguin, which I know Gene mentioned, which is so cool because I tell the story at the shows and a lot of people don't know who that is, but Gene has already given us a little pre-history on that. But you guys know that guy. He painted those island ladies, and he was a cool guy. Tahitian, yeah, all right. Nice and good. Specific. Some towns they're like, island girls. If I said Tahitian, I might lose them altogether. What's a Tahitian? Anyway, but Van Gogh really wanted to create this whole artist colony down there, and he was trying to get people to come, and they were very emotional people. Anyway, so one night him and Gauguin are having this big fight, and they yell and scream at each other. And then this is what I read a year ago. And they get in a fight, and then Gauguin leaves, and they never speak again. Van Gogh goes back home, cuts off most of his ear, not the whole thing. It's hard to get the whole thing. And he's really hurt and sad. He's just really bummed out. Goes to Rachel and wraps it in cloth and gives her the ear. She screams, tells him to get the hell out of there. And that's it. And he's having a pretty bad day, Fight with his best friend, cuts his ear off. His favorite prostitute doesn't appreciate the gift he gave her. We've all been there, man. It's a rough day, So that was the story. Anyway, so I'm in Amsterdam, and it's my day to go to the Van Gogh Museum. I choose to go not on drugs, because every story I ever heard was my friends telling me I was at Van Gogh Museum on a lot of drugs, because there's some legal drugs there, So I was like, I'll be different. I'll go sober. This will be fun. Well, I go, and I'm definitely the only sober guy there. And there's one curator who's standing there, and no one's talking to him because everyone's just like, oh, whoa, hey, looking at the paintings. Wait a minute, okay, all right. And so I walk walk up to him like, hey man, I'm not on drugs, can I talk to you? He's like, yeah, what's up, man? I'm like, talk to me about the ear. He's like, hey, have you heard the new development?
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know this, man?
I know this.
You are hip, dude. Nobody knows. Okay.
I love Van Gogh.
Yeah. So he tells me that the new, I don't know how they figured this out with some criminal records or something, but turns out that the new theory is that Gauguin and him were fighting, the same story as ever. But Gauguin was a swordsman, because people were swordsmen back in those days. We don't have a lot of swordsmen anymore. Pulls out his little sword and slices at Van Gogh, cuts off the ear. He freaks out, runs away. Van Gogh does not want his, no matter how mad he is, he doesn't want his friend going to jail. So he lies and says it was him. Walks over to Rachel to be like, ouch, what's up, can you help me? Gives her the ear. She screams, tells him to get the hell out of there, because she thinks he's crazy and just giving her ears that he cut off himself. Goes home, still having a bad day. So I was like, ouch, man. I think it totally changed my perception of Van Gogh. Not that maybe he still was a little crazy, but I think we always use that ear thing to put him in that world of like, he's a crazy artist, you know. He's cutting his ear off. Anyway, so it just changed my whole perspective, and I really wanted to write a song from Rachel's perspective, and maybe years later when she found out. I know, it's thank you for laughing. This song, here's the struggle we're gonna face right now, because I've been doing this story and this song on this tour, and it's we get worked up. It's a funny little story, and then I sing the song, and it's like really not a funny song. It's really down, and so it's okay. So I just wanted you to know that, because the first few shows I did, I tell the story, everyone's worked up, and everyone's just ready. Like, this is gonna be a funny ass Craigie song right now, and it's just like whoa. You're like, that wasn't funny at all. Anyway. But you can laugh too. It's okay. Tonight's about you guys, not about me, so just laugh if you want to laugh. It goes like this. I just really wanted to, if Rachel ever reached that point where she realized that it was somebody else, maybe she would just talk like this. My name is Rachel, and I was born here on the cold state of Maine. And I work here in this brothel. I do not feel ashamed. You could tell me the men are crazy. You could tell me the men are sick. But I've cured all the devil, and I've held the innocent. There was a painter, he used to come here, at least when he could afford, which wasn't often, but when he did, it doesn't mean he would implore. And they told me something was wrong, but I did not seem to hear. Until one night when he gave a blood piece of his ear. Oh, Vincent, who has hurt you so? Oh, Vincent, and how's I to know? In the long run, history will make it clear. For all my screams will fill your dreams, some of passion and some of fear. There was another painter named Gauguin, more famous I suppose. They were friends, maybe lovers, all the painters you never know. And they were drinking, and they were screaming, and Gauguin drew his blade. And he slashed at Paul Vincent, and they never spoke again. Oh, Vincent, who has hurt you so? Oh, Vincent, and how are we to know? In the long run, history will make it clear. But all my screams will fill your dreams, some of passion and some of fear. All this sadness, it will vanish whenever you choose to leave. When you bury yourself in your painting beneath And I will lie here and I will wonder about the gift you gave. Was it your sickness? Was it your madness? Or just the way you share your pain? Whoa, Vincent, who has hurt your soul? Oh, Vincent, and how will you know? In the long run, history will make it clear. But all my swings will fill your dreams. Some are passion, some are fear. All my swings will fill your dreams. Some are passion, some are fear.